Open shortest path first can make your area in 4 different types, meaning OSPF can make an area to appear in 4 different manner. For example, if you take most of the China, you have no access to Google. You can use Yahoo, but not any Google, which means you don't have YouTube, you don't have Gmail, you don't even have lot of kind of WhatsApp kind of apps. They are also called as a country. India is also called as a country. Both are area. That is also an area. This is also an area. That is also a country. This is also a country. But you see the difference. China's alliance, the North Korea, that is also a country where they don't have any connection to the external world. That is also a country. You see here, there are 3 types of countries here. One, totally stubborn. What does that mean? We won't allow anything, even from China, to get it. Even though they are alliance with us, we don't fully trust. China is like their own autonomous system member, alliance member, but different area. For North Korea, China is a different area. So North Korea says we are totally stubborn, meaning we will have information of only local things. But whenever we want to go to London, we will go. To go to China, we will go. But we won't allow easily anyone to come in. That is what called as totally stubborn. Next is this simply stubborn. Simply stubborn is like China. They allow people from Hong Kong to come in. People from China claim that Hong Kong belongs to us. They also go. Even though they say we belong to different area, they still have their routes being distributed between these countries, Hong Kong and China. But from outside, China don't allow. Like Yahoo is allowed, but not Google. Google is external to China. They don't allow. Likewise, if an area in OSPF receives other area routes, but not the external routes. So when there is an area which is,
Morning, Jay.
so this area
Okay.
learns route from other areas, but not ready to accept any routes from other autonomous system. Like China don't allow routes from Google. China routers don't have a route to reach Google network. China government strictly blocks the Google network coming inside their country. Likewise, Afghanistan. Now it is more worse. earlier, like 10 years back. They don't have any routes coming from Pakistan. So if someone wants to go India from Afghanistan over the internet, they cannot go straight to India. They have to go via Egypt. The packet travels to Egypt, and from Egypt it gets routed to Mumbai. So, so they are stub. They're not totally stub. They are stub. Totally stub is like North Korea. We don't allow anything from even from other our own alliance country like China. We don't like anything coming in. But if they want, they can go to anywhere in the world. But they don't allow people from anywhere to get into their country so easily. You see, I don't know. I didn't check. This is what media says. So, if an area don't allow type 5 LSA, then it is stubborn. What is type 5 LSA? Routes coming from external. Routes coming from other autonomous system. That is type 5. If an area don't allow type 3, 4, and 5, all three, the stub won't allow type 4 and 5 only because both are external. Type 4 and 5 not allowed. That is stub. When an area border router don't allow type 3, 4, and 5, then it is totally stub. Then it is totally stub. So we have stub, we have totally stub. These two are just easy to understand. But the other two, little complicated, but not that complicated, and make it easy. Before that, let's quickly see one more time. You see this picture very clearly. It is shown here. If an area is a stub area, then it won't allow type 5. 4 and 5. 4 and 5. It will block. Who will block? ABR will block. ABR will block. If an area is totally stub, this will block type 3, type 4, and 5. You know what is type 3? Type 3 is other area routes. See, this is in this direction. Whatever update comes, it blocks. But giving is normal, as usual. Getting is what the stub can stop. Same like North Korea. They can go anywhere. They will send some people to India to learn some skills. They will send some people to Germany to learn how to make an European dish. But they won't easily allow someone to get inside their country to learn their food, their culture. So going out, you see, that's not a problem because there will be a default route here to go to outside. Now the routes coming from outside. Okay, going out means sending updates out is not a matter. They will send everything. But learning updates, these don't allow type 4 and 5. These don't allow type 3, 4, and 5. But this area will advertise their own internal routes. There is no issue in the advertising. The stub is going to prevent the advertisement coming in. What advertisements I should accept? What advertisement I should not? So when you don't learn type 5, your routing table won't have E, E2 or E1. They don't have. Then how will you ping other area? Sorry, how will you ping other autonomous system? As I said, that the ABR which is blocking 4 and 5 will generate a default route and advertise to all the internal routers. You might have seen that in my demo videos. Same thing. When you make an area as a totally stub, type 3, 4, and 5 is denied by ABR, and that same ABR will inject a default route to every router in this totally stubby area. Now, to configure an area as a stub or a totally stub, we need to follow these rules. Means you need to remember these rules. You should have one ABR only in the border, like this. Only one area, one router as a border. You don't have another one. If you have another one, then you cannot call it as a stub. Stub should have only one exit. See, most of the houses or stub houses, they have only one gate to the house. If you want to go to Korea, you have to go out of the same gate, which you will use to go to a market. Anywhere on the world you want to go, first you need to go out of the gate only. It's that so famous gate, your house gate. You go to office, you have to come via the gate. You go to meet a friend, you have to come via the gate. So famous gate. That is what stub or house is stub. You can tell everyone in the family that anywhere you want to go, first you go out of the gate. You can go anywhere. So there is a default route written. You don't need to say to go to London, go to this gate. To go to market, go to this gate. No need. But if you have multiple gates, then there may be some difference in the path. To go to these networks, you go this way. There is another area. To go to this area, go this way. See, the policy varies. The path exit. If you have multiple exit, then you cannot make that area as a stub area. In case if you have more than one, make sure only one is active. If there is more than one ABR, suboptimal routing path to other areas and external autonomous systems are meaning one should be active, meaning one should have lower cost and the other gateway should have high cost, so that high cost gateway will not be preferred. It will be preferred only when the low cost gateway fails. So you have two ABR. One ABR is very costly to go out. Another ABR is cheaper to go out. So it will use the cheaper one. If that cheaper one fails, it will use the costly one. So what I'm saying in short is, if you have two ABRs, only one can be active. Now you have to configure the command stub in every router for both totally stub and stub. For both same command on the internal routers. For totally stub, only on ABR, there will be one additional word, no summary. No summary means what? What is summary? Let's say type 3. Stub, no summary. Stub means type 4 and 5, denied. No summary means type 3 is also not denied. Because the 3 is also denied. Okay. So all routers in the area are configured as stub routers. Next. There is no ASBR in the area. Yes. To configure stub or totally stub, you should not have ASBR. You know what is ASBR? The redistribution point, where the external type 5 originates. So you should not have ASBR. Next, you cannot configure an area as a stub if it is area 0. Because area 0 is a transit for everyone. You cannot deny any LSA coming into area 0. Area 0 is the mediator. It should know about every destination. So, area 0 cannot be made as a stub area. Lastly, you cannot have a virtual link. That area that you make it as a stub cannot act as a virtual link for some other area. See? If I have another area here, then I'll put a virtual link between this router and this router. So this area 2 will be a virtual link. Then you should not configure stub. Area 2 cannot be a stub. This can be a stub. But this area which is acting as a virtual link should not be configured as a stub. No virtual link go through the area. In this, you can expect some 1 or 2 questions in the interview. Kindly go through this picture. I already explained to you. I'll give you a minute. When you're done, let me know. Okay, next.
Okay, sir.
See, to configure stuff, this is what the command that we use. We go to all the router and we configure this one. And if you have more than one router, as I said, you should make one router as the active router. Next is the stub router, means the ABR router is going to inject a default route. If you want to set a cost, you can set a cost. In that way also, when we have multiple ABR, when you say cost 10 here, and here you don't say anything, which means cost 1, then this will become an active ABR. This is another way of doing it. The default cost is 1. For the default route, it will inject. So here is the example. Area 2 is configured here as a stub area. And all the routers you see, they have the same command. Both ABR and ASBR, they have both got the same configuration. Very simple. As soon as you do that, this type 5 LSA that is coming will not be allowed in. Type 4 comes from here. Type 5 comes from the ASBR itself. Mhm.
One question, sir. In router 3, they mentioned OSPF and router 4, they mentioned OSPF 15. So both are having different
See, this is router
process
3.
process ID, right?
This is router 4.
Mm.
Process ID is not autonomous system number. Auto yeah.
Okay, sir.
Locally
Okay.
significant, no? Simple
I'll leave
identification,
it
that's
up.
all.
Okay.
It can be. Now, totally stub also I covered. I'll give you again another 1 minute. Go through this, and if you have question, you can ask. Right. So this is not allowing summary,
Okay.
which is type 3, nor external, which is type 4 and 5. On behalf of this, only one default route will be sent inside. So because they put 2 times default, don't think it as 2 separate default routes. It is going to be a single default route. Next. What is the command? Mhm.
Jay, what do you mean by
Yes.
hello, Jay?
Hmm.
Yeah, you say about default route. Default route from a stub area, it can be
Default
enter
route is what
total stub.
injects. The ABR injects the default route. Instead of type 3, 4, and 5, only a type 3 default route is injected because they have written in this picture 2 times default. Don't think there are 2 default route, one type 3 and another type 5 default route. No. It's only one default route sent. But why you ask question after the story gets over? When I am about to move to the next one, then you are asking. Ask me a bit early, right? Immediately after I finish talking, if you ask, it will be nice. After I move to the next page, you are that brings us to the beginning of the story. Very difficult. Mm.
You know,
It's
because
okay.
because
It's okay. If you don't understand,
um,
immediately you ask. Don't take much time.
another
Immediately.
student,
All right. Because see, I come back again. I start the story. When the picture is there, if you ask immediately, I
okay,
can fix it. Now, go and configure the command stub on every
okay,
router. On totally stub, go to that totally stub area, configure this part on every router, and only on the ABR you add this one extra word. Only on ABR. But on the rest of the routers, you should have this portion. On all the internal routers, you should have area 10 stub. Area 10 stub. This is area 10. Only on this router, if you want it to be a totally stub area, only on this router, you need to say area 10 stub, no summary. Additionally, you should put this keyword. That makes that entire area totally stub. Now we are entering into, okay, before that, see here is a sample configuration. What if I have two ABR and I want one area to be in totally stub? Then what you have to do is you have to configure this command on both router 2 and router 4. You see, router 2 and router 4. But the costs, you see, so this is going to be the active router, low cost. Only that fails, this will become active. So active standby scenario you can have. Yeah. So simple. See router 3, simple command, area 1 stub, that's all. See, this is before configuring stub. Before configuring stub, you see you have type 5, you have type 3. IA means what? Inter area. E2 means what? External to. Pathcast not added. After I configure simply stub, I have a default route with IA, which means type 3 is bringing a default route. IA means coming from other area. But it is actually for taking you to the external. You still have the other area routes because it is simply stub, not totally stub. When you make it as totally stub, there is no IA except this one line. So using the same default route, the packets will go to the other area as well as other autonomous system. Now you see the picture here. Not so stubby area. This is the one topic which is more confusing for many. Very few people have got a very clear picture of this. So I would like you to go through this page for 2 minutes. And then I'm expecting some questions. I know what questions should come in your mind when you go through this. I'll wait for your question, the valid question, and then I'll answer. Please read. Jana, please, your question.
sir, this stub area and the totally stub area, we can't uh, uh, apply in the other autonomous system connector router areas. But so this not so stubby area, so we
Okay,
can
very
use
nice point,
in
which I really did not expect.
another autonomous system
Even
connected
I did
areas,
not
right?
think in that angle. Yes, it is true. You're comparing with what you learned in the previous pages. I appreciate, meaning this particular stub type will have an ASBR. Agreed. If there is no ASBR, this is not going to be a topic. Without any ASBR in that area, you cannot make it as a not so stub area. So, in another word, if I want to say, to make an area as a not so stub area, ASBR is must. In the previous two, ASBR should not be there. In this one and the next one, this one is what? NSSA, not so stub area. What is the next one? Total NSSA, not so stub area, total. In both of this, ASBR is must. See, R1 is an ASBR. R1 is an ASBR. Likewise, here, R1 is an ASBR. Very good point. Even though I tell this point, but I don't tell this directly like this, you have made it, you have nailed it. Nice. What is the other question? I'm expecting something more. Okay, I'll tell you. See this point here. This is the point from where I'm expecting a question from you. It is said here, before sending to area 0, type 7 is converted into type 5. What does that mean? That means that from R1, external routes, RIP routes are coming in. Earlier it used to come as type 5, but now after you configure not so stubby area, it is coming as type 7. Because you configured it as not so stubby area, it is coming as type 7. And internally to all the routers, it is circulated as type 7. And now when it is going out to the backbone area, it is again translated back to 5. The question that I was expecting from you is, why are you doing this useless job? That's what you are trying to ask. Why are you doing this? It was coming as type 5. Why you take it as type 7?
Oh, yes,
And
sir.
then again, why you
Again, it is
convert
already
as
it is
type 5?
coming by type. No?
Why are you doing this unnecessary, unwanted, useless, additional, waste job? This is a question that I expect always from everyone. Only when you think like that, only when you ask this question, you can understand the answer. You can understand the purpose of this not so study. You should first realize that this is a useless job they are doing. Why are they playing 5, 7, 7, 5? Leave it as 5, man. That's what you should think. That is what you should tell me. Leave it as 5, man. Why are we converting a 7 and then converting 7 to 5? If you ask such question, then you are thinking right. Are you thinking right? Do you have this question in your mind? Who has gone to this room? Let us know. Yes. Oh, you are not in this room. You are back home. Okay. Back to the room. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. You have the same question in your mind?
I'm here. I'm here.
Ah,
Sometimes when I mute, I have to mute
then you're
again.
thinking
That's
right.
why. But
Let us see the
yeah,
answer.
why? Why? Yeah, I have the same
Now,
question.
let us
Why
say
type
you
7 and
got
not type 5
a
come
router
back?
here,
Yeah.
and you got another area here, and that is area 2. This is area 1. So you have area 1 and area 2.
Sir, I
Let
can't
us assume
view it.
you have not assume this is the actual scenario. So I'm asking you to assume. Yes, try to assume. What is this? I don't have any other color. Okay, assume that there is one ASB. Okay, no problem. Let me keep it here. There is one another ASBR here. I'll call it as router 8, router 4. So there are two ASBR. This company has taken two internet connections. One is connected via R1 external, another one connected via R8. Two internet connections. Now, when I configure not so stub area, see because there is a word stub area, you should know that 4 and 5 not allowed to come in. So it won't come in. Will it come in, from router 8, the external is coming, will it enter into area 1? Answer. From router 8, external networks are coming, will R2 allow? It won't allow. Type 4 and 5 not allowed.
No, sir, it
The
won't allow.
local type 5 also it won't allow. First of all, you should not have local in normal stuff. But when you say not so stub area, you can locally have an ASBR. Why? Because this router is going to now send it as type 7. Instead of sending us type 5, it is sending us type 7. What is the advantage? This area can have the external routes given by Ripple, given by R. It won't have the external route given by 8, but it will have the external route given by R1. That is what you want actually. See, if you don't configure not so stub area, what is the problem? The problem is sometimes this router, you see, this router, this router. This router sometimes will take this long route to go outside. Instead of taking this easy exit, sometime for maybe some cost or something will be the reason, topology design may be the reason. Instead of taking the exit of the same area 1, instead of taking like that, it is going to area 0, consuming all the resource of area 0, and then going to area 2, consuming all the resource of area 2, and then going out. You don't like it. So what you did, you simply made that area as a not so stubby area, so that type 5 will not be entering inside area 1. Type 5 will not enter into area 1. The local ASBRs type 7 will be there in all the router. So obviously it has got no other option other than going like this. Did you understand? Which part you did not understand? My friend, again I'm telling you, why are you asking question by the end of the story? In the middle itself,
No, no.
you should stop me.
Yeah, I don't
Where you
understand
didn't
what you mean.
understand.
But if when you go, yeah,
Okay.
last,
One more, I think, let me tell you, whether I ask or not. When you are stuck in your brain in the middle, please ask me. Don't wait for me to ask
no,
the
no,
question.
Jay, you said you ask now the question. If we understand this part, that's why I'm saying no.
Don't do that. Don't do that because to explain. Wait, listen,
No,
brother.
no,
Wait.
Jay,
To
when you're explaining, Jay, listen,
explain you, I
listen.
have to start the
When you're
story
explaining the
beginning.
thing,
If you would have stopped in the
I will
middle,
wait until you finish. Maybe I understand, but if I maybe no, 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 it's not that. No, no, Jay, that is I don't mean that. I mean the last part about the type 7 you said. Um, when you finish to explain
see,
the type 7.
in area one,
That's why I say
you have
no,
put
I
the
don't understand.
command
The last part that you say
area
type
one,
7 will
not
be on
system.
all routers.
Okay.
That's why I didn't understand what you mean by that.
You have gone to every router and you have said area one, not system area. So every router knows that I'm not supposed to accept type 4 and 5. But if someone is selling type 7, I should accept. So this router 1 is also configured as Narcissus stub area. So OSPF in that router will send the external route as type 7. That is the beginning of the story, my friend. That is where I started. And this is R1, my friend. This is area 1. I have written here area 1.
Well, where is
This is
area
area
1?
0.
I can see area 0. Where is area 1?
My friend, here, I have not written here. See
Uh,
this big round I am making now? Now you see? Okay.
area 0
Are
I
you
can
watching in
see.
cell
Area
phone or
1 I see
iPad?
only router 1.
Sorry, Apple, laptop. Is it small iPad or big screen?
Yeah, now I see.
My friend, you need to keep a laptop. You need at least a 15-inch screen to see
The
properly.
iPad
Okay. Problem is they have not printed area 1. So to help, I have written
it's
manually
not
with the pen.
big. It's normal.
Okay. In all the routers of area 1, we have configured not so stub area. So it will accept
Mhm.
type 7. As a result, the RIP routes are now learnt on every router inside this area. And this area will not have any routes from router 8. Both router 8 and router 1 is giving the same network. So we prefer to go via router 1 instead of going via router 8. That is why we configured this area as a not so stub area. Yes. ASBR. Through ASBR. Correct.
Sir, one
When you
question, sir.
have two ASBR in different
So
areas,
if we have two A's, I mean
and condition
two
is,
A's, then we
and
can
you want
two
this
ASBR,
area
then we
which
can
has got one
use
ASBR
this not store stub
to
area,
use
right?
the local ASBR as an exit instead of
In
going
different areas.
out via other area. Yes, in such scenario. Now, configuration is very simple. Area 1 NSSL, that's all. Now, when you make it as area 1 no summary,
Got it, sir.
that becomes totally not so stub. Anyway, before that, let's see this command. Listen. This area is configured as not so stub area. So no type 5 is allowed in. Only local type 7 is learned on every internal router. Now, what if this goes down? So you need a default route which will not be injected dynamically, which is not injected dynamically. To make it inject, you have to use this keyword default information originate along with not so static. When you do that, instead of allowing type 5 and type 4 from other area, router 8, it will inject a default route. Type 7 default route. Okay, so next is not so stubby area, totally stub, which means I don't want 4, I don't want 5, I even don't want 3. I want only 7. I want only external route coming from another autonomous system. When you do that, default route will be automatically injected. You don't need to put this command. You don't need to put default information originate when you put no submit. Now, this is a Cisco proprietary. Please pay attention. If you're attending an interview, if it is not a Cisco related question, then don't talk about total. This total as well as the previous total. This is Cisco idea. No one else knows. This is known to everyone. Stub. And this one. Only these two are RFC standard. Stub and not so stub area is RFC standard. The other two that you learn, totally stub, and then NSSA totally stub. Those two are Cisco. Okay, so it's a Cisco proprietary feature. Very simple. When you make a area as a not so stubby area, totally stub, it will have type 1, type 2, type 7. No type 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, and 7. Only. For that, every router in this area should be configured with this command. And only on the ABR, you need to put additionally no summary to it. Four area types. Did you understand? Let us do a revision. Stub and not so stub area. These two are RFC standard. Stub and not so stub area. Totally stub, not so stub area, totally stub. The total word, the two things which has got the word total, is a Cisco proprietary. Other vendors don't do it. But when I configure an area as a stub area, type 1, 2, and 3 is C. 4 and 5 do not. When I make an area as a totally not so stub area, totally stub area, when I make an area as totally stub area, 1 and 2 will be C, no type 3, 4, and 5. When I make an area as a not so stub area, 4 and 5 is denied. And if I have a local ASBR, instead of 5, that will start sending a 7. So the not so sub area will have type 1, type 2, type 3, and type 7. Type 1, type 2, type 3, and type 7. If you don't like type 3, then you can configure not so stub area totally stub. Totally. When you do that, a default route will be injected by ABR, and in that area you will have type 1, type 2, and type 7. 3, 4, 5 is denied. What do you achieve by doing these things? You are shrinking your routing table size. According, according to your requirement, you decide what to come in, what should be allowed in by tuning this stuff. Is this clear? So, in our next
Yes, yes,
Yes, sir.
Jay.